I did the same thing, but I was behind.
Yes. It's like it's the long wheelbase is helping or it's killing them.
Made it.
I'm not going up there.
For sure the kid was going, or I was.
I've had this right there.
Man, that was it right there.
He? Mark, you want to buy? Yes. Mark, he's over here laying product out.
All right, what's going on, guys? I'm about halfway back home from Zombiepaloosa. This is really the first event I've ever done in this region. I've met some of these folks before down in Florida at USTE, and yeah, I know I always say the kind of the same stuff. It's cool when you get to hang out with a bunch of like-minded people doing something that we all love to do. Everybody's got their own rigs, their own style. But this one was a little bit different. The guys that put on this group, the GArockzombies, I'd known Corey for a little while. I haven't known a lot of the other guys, but this was it was a kind of a big, small event. I don't know what the numbers was. It had to be at least over 200 people, and it just was fantastic. Like I told Corey this. I was like, I never felt like a stranger, and I never felt like I met a stranger. Everybody there was just the most down-to-earth people. It was a really good crowd, really good turnout. It was a little bit wet and muddy the first day, but luckily it dried up on a Sunday, so we actually got to do I actually got to get out on the trails, me and Jeremy, Big Squid, Jeremy, and Jeremy Kilborn. Addie's RC, we got to go crawling with with Javier and some of the other 11 Charlie group, and had a blast. My K5 Blazer is only 3-wheel drive now. I got to stick between the trails. But that's the only TF2 I have that doesn't have the XVD shafts in the front, and I have a set of them at home waiting for it. So, but that was a blast, because most events lately, the bigger ones like Beat the Creek and USTE, we don't ever get to crawl. Me and Jeremy are stuck at our booths. We're just up there talking to you guys and shaking babies and kissing hands and stuff. But this one we got to do. I spent a ton of time at the booth. I mean, it was fun though, because everybody come up, talking about rat rods, talking about shop trucks, and doing and showing their builds, and it's just neat. It was a very neat experience. We had a good time. Me and Jeremy stayed in a nice little Airbnb on a small river somewhere on the Alabama side, which really messed us up, because this event happened. It was a busy weekend. We had the time change, and we stayed in Central Time. The event was in Eastern Time. We're right on the border of Georgia and Alabama. So we had some rough nights where it was like, oh no, it's midnight. And it was really like 1, we had to get up at like 5, and then Saturday night we lost another hour. The time changed, but that's pretty good. That's why I'm only halfway home. This event was only about 9.5 hours from Texas, from where I'm at. And I started driving this morning, and I was just like, I need a nap. Like, this isn't working. So we got about maybe 4 hours of sleep at night, which isn't much after you've been out in the wind and outside all day, talking to people and crawling up hills and things. But it's a really awesome event. They have another one coming up in October, I think he said, and I think we're going to try to hit that one as well. It's a different area. This one was actually an old chicken farm, and excuse me, losing my voice still. But yeah, the next one's at some kind of park that's basically a rock wall, a cliff, and you can hike all through it and everything. So Georgia Rock Zombies know how to put on a good show. Great guys, lots of families and everything out there. It was just a good down home vibe, and yeah, enjoyed meeting everybody. It was really cool too because the week leading up to it, I had a bunch of folks that I don't know messaging me and stuff, and I got to meet every one of them out there. They all come up and talk shop. I sold some rat rod kits. It was a very successful event on all fronts, and yeah, it was really funny how we ended up going, because I've known Corey through USTE for a while, but I've never been like close to Corey Allen, and I think he talked to Jeremy. He talks to Jeremy more, and he just put my logo on their banner. He put Jeremy's logos on the banner. I was like, well, I feel like I have to go now. I'm sponsoring. But that's something neat too, is they don't charge sponsors. They're vendors to come in. I mean, people still donated stuff, and they had a huge prize pot at the end to raffle off the wristbands like most events do. But they just want to get people out there. And yeah, it was a very successful event. Like I said, on all fronts, the business side, meeting you guys, getting to actually crawl and hang out with my buddies and just have a good time. And yeah, it was definitely a good time. It was kind of my birthday weekend. Since today's my birthday, I'm just stuck in a hotel in Mississippi. So that was a good way to celebrate. And we got to take Jeremy to Waffle House for the first time in his life. It was a blast. It was the perfect Waffle House too. It wasn't too crowded. There wasn't too much drama to scare him, but it was entertaining. It always is. So anyways, I appreciate everybody that came out and talked to me and hung out with us and trailed with us, and yeah, just made us feel like we were at home. So we're definitely going to be back with the Georgia Rock Zombies for other events. I know Jeremy is, and I'm planning on coming too, and hope to see you out there. But get out there and do something fun with the hobby, guys. Keep it scale. I'll see you next time.